Hello and welcome to another Delboy random gameplay video. Yes, I do these on occasion, usually when there is a game that's been recommended to me, or it's got something about it that reaches from the past that's had a bit of a polish put to it. This one is another one from my Steam library. It came up as a recommendation, and I eventually pulled the trigger on my holiday. And it's one of those vampire survivor type games. Yes, lads, it's another one of those. Only this one is not too bad. I'm not going to be giving a terrible review. I'm going to let you guys decide. And I don't want to start off on a negative. So this one is called Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde, and it came out on the 20th of June 2023. So it's quite new. It's also in early access. The reason that these games come to me is because they're very, very relaxing. You do very little other than move around. And as you move around, your one weapon, which you have no control over, kills the baddies. You pick up then something that gives you the currency, usually something like souls or gems or gold or whatever. And then eventually that will increase your XP. Your XP then will give you something that will gear up your weapon or a sub weapon, because there are sub weapons in most of these. And you keep going round and round and round, and while you're doing that, the horde basically just swamp you. The idea is, how long can you survive, and what type of build is your character going to grow with? So I'm just going to read out what it says on Steam. It says, you are the spirit hunters in this action rogue light rogue light. Slay huge waves of monsters and harvest their souls for ever increasing power. Unlock many playable characters, abilities, maps, and more through a deep progression system, for which at the moment the recent reviews of this have given it very positive, and all reviews mostly positive. It continues. Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde is a rogue-light action game in which you fight huge waves of monsters using passive attacks and abilities, slay thousands and thousands of endlessly encroaching monsters to stay alive, collect souls to level up, and to increase your power and abilities, both in the field and in the Oracle's vast permanent upgrade system. So, pretty much, it doesn't sound too enticing when you've played lots of the other Vampire Survivor type games. And as you know, I've done Vampire Survivors, Rogue Genesia, 20 Minutes Till Dawn, Time Wasters, Army of Ruin, and just recently Choo Choo Survivors, which was rogue-like Vampire Survivors on a train, which amused me, but really wasn't me. I don't know if really it came down to its graphical style, or the fact that once I'd worked out the mechanic, which it took me 5 goes, I was basically just doing the same thing over and over again. Something about these games has to entice you, challenge you, and allow you, and then hook you. Um, you can have totally superfluous graphics, but if the gameplay is not there, not going to work. You can have crappy graphics, and if the gameplay is there, it can be absolutely fantastic. I think that's what got us into Vampire Survivors. It wasn't the most polished game, but by boy did it hook you. Now, the other games that I've had have equally challenged me. The ones that come to mind really are Time Wasters and Army of Ruin, both of which I've played probably as much as Vampire Survivors. So, could Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde also entice me? Well, we're going to sort of like see if it does. I'm going to now switch view to game recording. come up. There we go. So instantly it does have a unique sort of like graphic style. It doesn't look too bad to me at the moment. The tutorial I looked at is very, very small. It's just some static screens. You can see here it says each skill maxes at level 25. There are many ways to build each skill, so have fun experimenting with different combinations. This intrigued me. It says you could pull all 25 levels into the number of spears, or you could actually focus on the size and the damage for a few powerful hits. So basically what it's saying there, oh, look at this, 25 spears suddenly come up, but of course it does weak damage. Or, oh my god, 4 huge spears have just come up, knocked them bandy, but there's only 4 of them. And then of course there are modifications to all of these types of weapons, not just spears. That's what the sort of like the main screen looks like. The top left is going to be probably the most looked at part of this when you're looking at the game, because it's your health and time. Down the bottom you do seem to have a sort of mini timeline, which is welcome, and along with an experience bar, and of course there's an end boss. Great, so there are bosses in this. Those are always welcome. They add a little bit of a element to them. And of course we've got the normal crates and chests and so forth. And we'll see how those help as we play the game. So there's not much to show there in the tutorial. Options again is also very, very light. You can change it to full screen. You can change the resolution, the language, and a few audio options. So nothing really to shock you there, and this will play on just about any system out there. I think it's a very low powered game. So what's going to excite me about this game? Is it going to be the graphics? Is it going to be the gameplay, the mechanic? I've got a funny feeling that this one is going to jump into that line of, I'm hoping, Time Wasters and Army of Ruin, you know, where you can definitely see a graphical edge, but you can also see that hookability. We will see. It's not always worked out like that. So we'll hit start, shall we? And we will go for new game. It says here that I can choose 2 characters, Magnus or Vivian. Now, apparently, according to this, the challenge is 2 stars and the challenge is 1 star on this one. We will go with Magnus, I think, and the starting weapon will be Cleave, I think. Why not? Some of these look good. Look, if you look, there's a orbital fire. Well, that's a little bit like the library book that floats around in Vampire Survivors. Look, you're orbited by a ball of fire that burns enemies. Trouble with that is that with only one, you'll have trouble aiming at the creatures. And this one cuts through its shreds with high damage, close range melee. Probably will get me more souls at the beginning. The arrow, look, fires a piercing arrow in front of you. Now, the important word there is front of you, because that means you've got to be facing the direction. And if anybody knows about Vampire Survivors, you tend to be running away. So those don't tend to be great. We've got this spears. Raise spears around the ground, destroying all that stand above you. They're usually quite a good one. And then you've got Ice Ring, casting a glowing ring of ice that freezes monsters and does damage, which is great because that's a bit like garlic. I'm going to still go with the melee weapon and click start. And we're going to be in the desert, and I've got 15 minutes. Okay, so we've got a time. Let's see how long I last. Loading. Here we go. And automatically I think, oh, the graphics aren't too bad. That weapon's not firing very fast for me. You're sort of gliding. Really weird. But you are a magician of a sort, so it's supposed to be expected. Now, what am I going to have? That weapon is quite slow. I'm going to have to unlock spears, I think, in the hope that random spears coming up might pave a way for me. And ice ring for definite. We definitely need that thing that freezes and then kills. Anytime you hear that grunt, you know that I'm not doing brilliantly. So automatically this is becoming quite a challenging game. Well, there's a chest. Now, that's a little bit like a previous game. You have to be in the vicinity of the chest to open it. Okay. We will get more spears, I think. And all these creatures are coming up to me, and bang! Right. That's good. Increase the number, increase the damage. Damage we want. Cleave, we want that to be better. My God. Awful at the moment. That ice ring seems to be a good one. And critical hit. So, not too bad. I'm doing okay, I think. My health seems to be okay. Increase attack size, that might be good. I think I chose right at getting spears instead of the orbiting fire, because that orbiting fire would be too slow. Slashes again, I think. Got to have something that basically keeps firing, because when it stops, you're trapped, because all you can do is just hopefully get out of the way. Quite a big map so far. Glad I haven't got the arrow. And graphic-wise, it's not bad. I still think Time Wasters and Army of Ruin totally have the edge over this. Totally. So we'll go with Cleave again. But it's got this sort of Scooby-Doo type vibe to it. I don't know what to say, really. Sort of like a very clean, pristine, clear, precise graphic. Not much animation. So, again, that's going to help with your choosing of a game that might be too powerful. This one definitely is not going to be that. God. We will need spears. I needed those purple. They're much more. Those shards are much better than ruins, if I remember rightly. See, I had to wander about waiting for my weapon to come back. Oh, now we've got, just like Vampire Survivors, those bats that fly in. You can see where they take their inspiration from. And I suppose, what can we say? Copying is a form of flattery, and it really is. But I must admit, I am looking now, when it comes to Vampire Survivors, to be something unique, something really totally off the wall that the others have not thought of. And I haven't found one since Vampire Survivors really came out. The closest has been Time Wasters and Army of Ruin. This one, It's nice. It's relaxing. I'm going around getting all my weapons. Oh, that was menacing. What the hell was that? Oh, right. A monster. Okay, so this is a boss, is it? Right. Oh my god, yeah. I am being slaughtered a bit. The music is nothing special. It's not hooking me at all. I killed that creature. Oh, there it is, down there. I don't know how powerful it is. I haven't looked to see whether there's a bar that tells me how strong. But I do think that I'm going to have to move out of here shortly because I'm not doing too well. Swarming all over me while I'm trying to work out where the monster is. So we're going to have to take our eye off the monster for a minute. Hopefully get some weapons or something. Get some health. My god. I think I'm going to last 15 minutes if I carry on like that. The more I head up, the more I can't head south. This really is actually quite a challenge. I will say that. It ramped up pretty darn quick. That's a good sign, really, from my perspective. Don't like anything that's too easy. But I also don't like something that's frustratingly hard. So, this is going okay at the moment. And we're doing alright. Keep getting these gems. Oh my god, what was that? That was a noise. Better go and get this. Let's see. Free size, I think. Need something to keep them away. Is that what the creature was? That one? Creature is being... Oh, that's the same creature that I've always seen. Don't seem to be doing too much damage to it. I'll stay in the vicinity of it. I'm going to die. Oh my god. Wow. Now that is a challenge. Defeat. Oh wow. I lasted 7, so halfway through 15 minutes. Okay. Then it says Oracle. I see you're awake. Welcome back to the world of the living. I am the Oracle. I'll be here to recover your soul when you fall in battle. It is our sacred duty as spirit hunters to fight against the ever-growing dark spirit army. Explore the world to find crystals and runes which we can use to enhance your abilities. You will need to defeat certain enemies to unlock new skills. Though you will fall many times, I will always be here to revive and strengthen you. Here, take these runes to begin your journey. Good luck, hunter. Right, okay, so here's the skill tree. You can see that's me. That was the other character. This is the skill tree for that. And oh my god, that's quite an impressive skill tree. That's pretty big. And here's the weapons I was using. And these are the things that I can spend my money on to make the next game I play easier. So you can see that this one's going to quite entice me because there are things that I haven't unlocked. Let's have a look at some of them. Pet. Unlock 5 pets to find who will assist you on the battlefield. That's nice. So you can now have like a protective guardian around you that kills creatures, and you've got pet slaver, pet driller, pet mag slime, pet flash, and pet scoop that does various things. That gets loot, move speed, magnet range, so that basically pulls in all those souls. Mining speed, there's mining in this, and increased base damage. There's the ledger so far. Here's the areas: Desert, Spine, Twilight, Northwood, Viper, Hintersland, Dark Moon Grove, Cemetery, Luna. Okay, quite a few maps. This is, by the way, an early access game. We'll hit back, and we're back to the start. So I'm now going to move to camera only and just wrap up. Spirit Hunters, Infinite Horde. I'm going to give this one, it's a mixed bag. I quite like the visuals. It's challenging. Quite a few maps. Weapons aren't too bad, although I didn't really find one that was cutting down anything fast enough for me. Maybe that's just the choices I made, but the choices I had weren't that fantastic. Different creatures are going to give me different starting weapons, so maybe there's a lot more weapons, so maybe I shouldn't mark it down for that. Sound wise, nothing special. So do I like it, or do I hate it, or is it in between? I like it. I will say that it's a goodish game, and one that on a wet Sunday where there's nothing going on and I'm having trouble thinking about something I want to pick up for 15-20 minutes, definitely that would be one of the ones I would choose. Is it time wasters, Army of Ruin, or Vampire Survivors? No, they're still going to be my go-tos. But this one could pip it based on its development cycle. Now, the one thing we haven't really talked about is how much is this game? Now, what you got to remember is Vampire Survivors is no longer that £2 game that you can buy. It's gone past that point now. Vampire Survivors games work because of the amount of hours you play on them and the amount of money that you spend initially. Because if you divide how many hours into the low cost, then you'll find out that it's cost you something like a penny a minute, which you can't really sneeze at. This game is £6.99. That is not bad. It is over the £5, so I have got to look at that and go, it's £2. It's £2. Don't forget, it sounds less than that, but it's £2 over that £5. So I'm going to say that this one is probably my 4th or 5th favourite Vampire Survivors game. And I've got 9 of them. So it's middling. And with that, I'm going to end this and say I don't think you're going to be disappointed. £6.99 is just that £1 or more too expensive for what you're getting, or from what I've seen. But in a sale where this is 50% off, 30% off, you're definitely enticed. Definitely enticed to get this. And with that, this game has been out 2 months. And I think it's one that's got potential. That's how I'm going to end this. And with that, thank you very much for watching me play some more random gameplay videos. There's going to be some different random gameplay videos in the future. There'll be less Vampire Survivors. They will be something different. Vampire Survivors are great, and if there's something that I think will entice people that I know into buying it, I will show them. But I'm going to look for something a little bit different now. I think we need something more first-person-y, or something more role-playing, or something a little bit more bullet hellish. You know what I mean? Go back to some of those, because I think I'm doing those games a bit of a disservice. And if I can find something that's vector graphic, neon-y, or something that's from the past, fantastic. I'll be in heaven. And with that, thank you very much for watching, and salute. Bye bye.